So, are you ready to talk about conspiracy theories and scootering?
Oh, yeah.
We think that... All right.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?
What up, everyone? Welcome to the Undialed podcast. Today we have a fantastic guest named Jack Ward, and he is also known as HalfBarz. So, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here.
Of course. The first thing I want to ask, and I asked you this, but I wanted you to explain it to the audience. Where did the name HalfBarz come from? Because there was like two of you at one point.
So a guy called my mate Luke Renshaw, he was the first one. It was HalfBarz with an S at the end. And yeah, we were just like, I think it was like an all-nighter and we were just all pretty wasted. And he was just like, yeah, it was just a joke at first and then it stuck. And then, yeah, like we were just messing around doing HalfBarz just in the middle of the night. And then, yeah.
Are you good at doing HalfBarz?
Yeah, but I don't really do them. Like it's just there as a name.
When you do a nothing front scoot and it accidentally does a half bar, is that a land or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've still done enough in front. It's not. It's like doing something with like a heel drag or something. It's like it's a bit sketchier.
True. I feel like if you did a nothing front scoot and your bars did a 180, but you somehow like tied that into a foot jam as the next trick, you know, so it's like, no, I meant to do it, you know, because you like set yourself up.
Yeah. When you land switch.
Or you do a nothing front scoot and you land with no hands. Because you know how like we can ride your scooter with the bars backwards with no hands? That's what needs to happen. That's the banger. That's the banger of the century.
Some fly out riders will get that done, I reckon.
For real. But hell yeah. So you're in America right now. You came out for Outlet 3. So thank you very much. How are you liking America so far?
It's sick. Yeah. Yeah, it's proper good. Like I came my first time was in Pennsylvania, like in August for Woodward. So yeah, like here to from there to here, it's a bit of a change. But yeah, it's sick. Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like compared to Europe, I feel like America, each of the states is like Europe's countries. It's like you go to one side of the country and then you come over to the other side, and it's like still technically in the same country, but it's a whole different world.
It's mad.
What do you think about Woodward East?
It was good. Yeah, I like the whole like vibes and everything there. Is so good. It's just like it's just insane. Like the size of it's just mental. Like it's like going to all like ride. Like I was there for 2 weeks and I still didn't ride every bit. Like it was mad. Like it's crazy.
What was your favorite part of Woodward East?
Like big ramp wise, probably the smaller vert resi half and just like the vert in the lot 8 and there. But then like I did just like. All the jibby stuff there is so good, like for nose manuals and stuff. Like that was I did more nose manuals that week and shit like that. It was just fun. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, no, Woodward is definitely a magical place.
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened recently? So basically there was like Woodward has always been ever since the very beginning, because Woodward started in like a garage in the town of Woodward, and the roots of it were always gymnastics, cheer, and action sports. I actually think gymnastics and cheer came before action sports.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know how they all got entangled together, but they recently just got rid of gymnastics and cheer.
It's mad.
To basically make the action sports program even bigger.
Right. Okay.
Which is, I don't know, kind of funny. What do you feel about that?
I mean, it's good for us, but
Yeah.
It's like it is a bit crazy. Like when I was there, as I said, it was like there was more gymnastics and stuff. Like I was asking, and it was like there was like 5-6 times more gymnastics and cheer than all the other like any skateboarding, BMX, any of those. Like it's crazy, and the fact that they just got rid of it, it's just like what the fuck.
Yeah, I think the reason they got rid of it is because the mother company that owns Woodward, called Powder, they're like a ski and snowboard. Like they own a mountain.
Oh,
you know, they own a mountain in Colorado.
And
they're kind of based around action sports. And I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of weird because I feel like there was a draw for like kids going there because it was like, oh, there's all these skate parks and girls, you know. And then like for the girls, they're like, oh, we get to go do cheer and gymnastics. And there's skater boys and scooter boys. You know, it's like I felt like that was kind of just like an unsaid draw to the camp. So I'm curious what that's going to do for the future of it. I really have no idea.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. They like when I was there, like they're like the amount of, like you just hear like people shouting at like I don't know what it's called, purpling.
Yeah, purpling. Yeah,
like you'd have like people shouting like stop purpling. It was
no purpling.
So it's like I don't know. Like they're obviously like they're all so strict with it. But it's like yeah, it's so like the fact that they're just it's crazy.
Yeah. So Woodward was sick, and then now you came out to Outlet 3. You didn't even plan on coming to Arizona. This is just kind of a last minute plan. Well, what do you think about California?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like. Yeah, it was good. Like, I don't really know what to say, but yeah, it was fun.
Did it match expectations? Did Claremont match expectations?
Kind of. The like some obviously like with some of the ramps, it was a bit like they weren't maintained properly. But like the actual park was good, and I'm really annoyed I didn't get to ride the old like spine mini section. Like that looks so good compared to like the bit that is there now.
Yeah, it really is a bummer going to Claremont, I feel like, these days, because it's still like a good park. If you were to come across that park and you just like found it, you'd be like, you know what, this place is all right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But knowing what it used to be, wow, it's such kind of a disappointment. You look at it, you're like, you used to be a contender at one of the best skate parks in the whole world, and now you're just this average skate park, just sad skate park.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, it was good though. Like as you say, it's still a decent park, but it definitely had the potential to be way better.
Yeah, I mean, you're no stranger to amazing skate parks. You are blessed to live in the UK, where I think probably the best indoor skate parks in the entire world are. Like, I can't think of like a geographical region where more clusters of great indoor skate parks are other than the UK.
Like famous ones. Like Corby, yeah, for sure.
So what's it like growing up with those amazing ramps and then going everywhere else? Like,
well, for like it was only like 2016 I started going to like Corby more like frequently because I just like get a train and stuff.
Did you not live close to Corby in the past?
No. Like I've never lived close except for I moved here. I moved there like end of last year. So it was like I've always been at least 2+ hours away at the minimum. So it was like being like I never really got to ride there, but like going from like not riding it to being able to ride it all the time is just mental. But like as I say, like. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
You're good, bro. No stress.
It's mad. Like the amount of good indoor skate parks is like a blessing, pretty much. Like the winter, you have no problem riding. Like I've never not been able to ride. Like I just like you just drive there, or go a train or something, and then you just sorted. Like whereas a lot of places, if they have an indoor, it's hours away from people. Like I know obviously I didn't live close, but like it's like long ways for some people in Europe and stuff, and especially here is mad.
It's like the wintertime comes around and there's just no more riding for like 5 months.
Exactly. Whereas like for us, it's just like you're sorted anyway. Like I ride indoors most of the time.
Yeah. So you've fixed that 2-hour problem since 2.5-hour problem since.
Yeah.
You said you were living right next to Corby now.
Yeah. Like at the beginning of this year, me and my mate Dan Lawney, we moved into a place like literally like 30-second walk.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's so good.
What has that done for your riding?
Just means I can ride more. It's like I don't have to be stressed about like sessions. If I'm not feeling it, I can just go home and then come back later or something like that. Like it's just a lot. It's just easier. It's just easier.
I feel that. I feel like you are one of the dudes who made that resi box jump, one of the most famous boxes in the entire world.
So much stuff on there. Like,
tell me,
everyone has done so much stuff on there. It's mad.
Tell me, how good is that box? I mean, I personally really like it. I don't even like box jumps, but like, tell me what makes that box so good.
And like, one of the most important things for a good box is the run up, and having that huge bank there is just perfect. Like, I've ridden quite a few boxes before that are like they're good, but getting to them and getting speed for them is the hard bit, and it's like that shouldn't be the case. Whereas that is just straight into a massive bank. You get as much speed as you want. Like you can hit the roof. Like if you go like that's what I mean. Like you can get that much speed. Like it's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's just good. Like it's not too steep on the landing. It's like perfect length. Like it's a really well made ramp. Like 414, the people who make Adrenaline, like such good ramp builders. It's sick because they're like BMX riders. So I think like a lot of skate parks are built by skateboarders, and I think the style of skate parks that are made by BMX riders lean more towards scooter riding, like the ramps and stuff.
Yeah, they care more about aerial stunts than I feel like skateboarders do. I feel like even the skateboarders that are good at building transition, they kind of focus around grinding on like the coping and like the vertness of the bowl. But I feel like the BMXers and even rollerbladers, they have like similar trajectories as scooter riders. So I feel like they make fantastic skateboards. Aren't they based at Corby?
I believe so. Yeah,
like they have a big workshop there.
I think so.
That's cool.
Yeah, like they've built most of the like recent indoors in the UK, like D-side. I think Junction 4. I'm not sure. I know they definitely built D-side. Did they? They've built like like most of the indoors, like the good ones are built. Like Greystone, that was built by 414. It's sick.
How's the new section or the new room at Adrenaline Alley?
Which one?
I guess it'd be the warehouse.
The warehouse, yeah, it is sick. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it's the maddest box because it's like you get. It's not like the most perfect thing. Like I said, with the resi, like the run up's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. Like
because you have a box before that you have to hit,
But like because it's like a racer box almost. Like you're shooting through, and it is good. And the box is just mad. Like you can go like stupid high and stuff. And because it shoots you up and it's not too long, it's just better.
Is it like the resi box but just bigger, or is it like a all different trajectory?
Yeah, like it like this. Yeah, like you can get way more height on that box than the resi for sure. And then we got the new airbag as well.
Yeah, what's that like?
Crazy.
What was like the idea behind that? Like, was it? I know it's popular to ride airbags and stuff, but what made them do it?
I think they just wanted to. Like, they're like, yeah. Like, I don't think there was a specific reason, but it's just like I think it's just like because they're so like focused on progression for all the sports. It's like I think that's it because they're like it's crazy.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I feel like Clayton and I definitely have to get out there and do some more stuff at Adrenaline Alley because it's always great times there. I feel like I've had so many conversations with Clayton just about like, damn, this skate park is really better than all of Woodward. Like, it's like even though it's like a tenth of the size, it's like each and every ramp at that park is so well built and
it's just thought out. Like
it's so thought out. Like. There's no dead ends. If you have a lot of speed, you don't end up in some corner or a wall.
Exactly, yeah.
And I feel like that happens all of the time at other skate parks.
Yeah, for sure. Like they'll make it and they'll just think about specific ramps. They won't think about linking them together. Whereas like pretty much everything at Corby and like Adrenaline Alley flows into each other. So it's sick. It's so good.
A quality that I think makes a good skate park is how many different levels there are. Like how many different standing levels and just levels of the skate park. And I think that the more levels a skate park has, and even skate parks where you're not even sure what like the base level is, because most of the time there's like I would say majority of ramps are on like one level. Yeah. But if you go to a skate park that has so many different levels that you're like, I don't even know what the base level is. I feel like that's a quality that makes a great skate park.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I feel like Adrenaline Alley really does a great job at that because you really like don't know where the base level is a lot of the time, aside from the floor, you know?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, as you say, like having all those different like levels just helps with progression as well. Because it's like you don't have to make a massive jump. You're slowly doing it, but you're doing it quicker because you're not scared or anything like. Because you've already got the like experience of doing the ones just below it. Like it's sick.
Dang, that's sick.
Yeah,
I feel like I wish there was just more skate parks in America that were of that same quality. I feel like the UK has such a leg up on especially like park tricks or like acrobatic tricks. Yeah. Simply because they have just like the training facilities.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so
get
cool.
What you mean. Like I think it was like I don't think that was ever like the reason, but I think it was because obviously like our weather's not great. So it's like we kind of need the indoors, but then that's just lent into giving us all these facilities that are just insane. Like it's so good.
Because there's not a lot of parks in the UK that are indoor that are like plazas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
there's a few like skateboard like definitely built by skateboards for skateboards like those sort of ones, but they're not really like there's not many of them.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting how that's even manifested into like Extreme Barcelona this year.
Yeah.
You know, because I was looking at Extreme Barcelona and it was like, what was it, the final 8? Is that, or was like what was finals? I can't remember.
8.
It was 8, yeah. And 6 of the people were from the UK. You know, and then the other 2 were Americans. And I was like, damn, like they're really killing it right now. These box jumps, you know, it's
I
like,
didn't even realize that. That's mad.
because it was
6 out of 8. That's sick.
Yeah, 6
Big up the UK.
And I was like, this has to be because of the skate parks they have. You know, it's like they're the only place I feel like in the world that has a skate park similar to the Extreme Barcelona course, except always available.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
it's like, I mean, maybe Escondido skate park, where Outlet 3 is comparable, but it's not like you have the resis and the foam pits.
Yeah.
And
Like I got like if I was riding Esco all the time, I rode there for one day doing that best trick, and I would not be able to ride there. Like I'm ruined. Like that's the floor.
You got fucked up there, bro.
the floor there, like absolutely, like my legs fucked, and it's just it's just like having like everything's built well. Like as I said, 4-on-4, they're so good at building ramps. It's like when you're riding and you don't have to worry about what you're riding on, you ride so much better. Mm-hmm. Like if you're worrying about holes or
Nails,
slipping, or the floor, or it's just like it just gives you that confidence to send stuff.
Absolutely. It just eliminates this looming factor that would otherwise be in your head, because
exactly.
I don't know, I feel like I even get that way at Woodward sometimes, you know, and it's like, it's still pristine ramps and it's still the best of the best, but I feel like I still get that anxiety sometimes, like, is there a nail? Like, how old is this ramp? You know, is this wood underneath the ramp like still all right? You know, I feel like it's kind of a bummer. Woodward has really transitioned from wooden skate parks. Like there was an era when there was no concrete skate parks at Woodward at all. Yeah. It was only wood, and then slowly they've been transforming into concrete. But like, I feel like there's something special about like wood. I feel like I'm so much more 100%. Inclined to send myself
for sure
on wood, and I'm trying to like break down like psychologically like why. You know, it's like
softer. Like if you fail a trick, it's like it's less painful, 100%. Like,
but is that just a placebo effect?
Nah. Like think about like if you like under and you hit like the wheels on the like the side of your deck on the concrete, like that hurts. Like I always get like grip shock, like hand shock riding concrete. Whereas like wooden stuff, you don't really get that because you have the little bit of flex.
Okay, so imagine this then. Imagine that there was like a big tree, like a huge tree, right?
Yeah.
And they just cut it down so it's like a stump. But this diameter of the tree is like 10 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like big motherfucker. And imagine if they just cut a quarter pipe out of it. So that way the entire quarter pipe was solid. You know, so it'd be like concrete, but it's wood. Do you think that would be as soft?
No. It'd be, no.
Like you think it would feel like concrete?
Yeah, because I think, because it's like, there's like, underneath like the plywood and stuff, you have, there's gaps. So it has that flex. Whereas like, and it's wood, so it flexes. Whereas concrete is just done.
Yeah.
You're dead. Like I seem like bales on concrete are always worse. Like whenever you see bad bale on concrete, it's always way worse, I feel like.
Yeah. It's interesting in America, there's quite a few people that I've met that prefer to send stuff on concrete than wood.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's definitely like personal preference, because there's definitely people in the UK as well that would rather ride concrete ramps.
Very true. Very true. So I wanted to ask you on this podcast, like, you've been going insanely hard with scootering, especially in the last, like, I would say 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? You've been going off.
Thanks.
What are some of the goals that you really want to accomplish moving forward in scootering? Like, do you want to be a world champion? Is that something that's on your radar of, like, yes, this is within my power, I want to get it?
More recently, I guess so. Like, I never really had the confidence in myself going into comps. Mm-hmm. So, but like this year and last year, I've started to do a bit better. So it's like, I think it's like my head's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to start focusing on it. Because it's like, I've always been so complacent with like competition training and stuff. Whereas like more recently, I've been doing better. So it's like, I have a reason to go and train or whatever. Like, yeah, I think that like, that's obviously, I feel like that's like for everyone, that's just like the top thing you can do in scooter, and like that would be insane. But like other than that, just like traveling. Yeah, like traveling like to everywhere really is a goal, and just meeting loads of people.
Is there somewhere specific that you want to travel, or someone specific you want to meet through scootering?
Well, Australia has always been the main place I've wanted to visit, and luckily, like this year, like literally in like 4 days, I'm going to Brisbane, which is insane. Like I'm so excited for Nitro.
Yeah, tell me about that. So how did that even come to be? Like, obviously you're a great scooter rider, but like, how did all that get orchestrated?
Well, I did Nitro in 2018.
Okay.
In Paris, and it was like when I rode for 858.
The contest or the show?
The contest.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like through 858. They'd like, so shout out to them, I guess. But like they got me, and like Core as well, is both of them. But they got me on like, because I think the owner or something knew, like had a connection, and she just spoke to them and asked, and then it worked. And then I got invited to the one in 2020 as well, obviously COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped. It's
Hell
so
yeah.
sick.
Hell yeah. That's so cool. What do you think the contest is going to be like in Brisbane?
Insane. I think it'll be crazy. Like, it hasn't happened for a couple of years, and it's just, I think it's going to be mad. Like there's loads of people at like our Willy Land at the moment training, and some of the stuff I've been seeing is just like, if that gets landed, it's like game changing.
What's like the first trick that comes to mind that you've been seeing?
That Zake Chapel, he did like fucking like a cork 7 bry whip catch bry whip or some shit. Like, it was stupid. Like it didn't look real. Like, it was mad. Like it was fucked.
So I know you can't expose all of your tricks, but what's one trick that you like want to do on that ramp? Maybe not for the competition, but just for you.
Jack, 1 second. Do you mind just talking directly into the mic, because you're kind of talking?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Like when I rode it last time, I got 1 foot on a quad inward.
A quad inward.
Yeah.
Has anyone done that? Did Hunter ever land that? I don't even know.
I don't.
Nah, he didn't.
No.
Clayton's saying no.
Yeah, but like, yeah. So that's like, that'd be crazy to land.
What about triple nothing front scoot?
That would be a big old fucking dash.
I feel like it might be a fine line with that. You know, it's like you have so much speed and so
like,
much G's.
Even on the double,
Yeah.
it's still spinning when I catch it. Like, it's not slowing down. So it may be. Like, when I was doing the double, if I missed it, sometimes that shit would spin 3 times. I wouldn't
Really?
hear it, but it would spin 3 times, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know, obviously, this year, but in the future, probably, I reckon it'll be doable.
Are you going to our Willie's house to train at all?
I won't be there in time.
Damn.
I'll get there, like, the day before.
All right. Damn. Yeah, no, it's going to be a sick competition.
I'm so hyped. It's going to be good.
I feel like I would have so much pressure on my shoulders if I was our Willie. Like, imagine if you lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you get beat out on your own thing. Like,
This is the thing. I don't think he will. Like, he's that good on it. Like, it's mad. Like, I've never seen someone, like, even just like normal ramps, I've never seen someone that confident on a normal ramp. Like, it's mad. Like, he just does it, like, anything. It's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy that I feel like at one point, Ryan was kind of an all around rider of street, park, and he can still ride all that stuff fantastically. But I feel like he's kind of just exclusively the like mega ramp dude.
Mega ramp, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Because he's the only scooter rider on, like, they've obviously had people visit, like, and do guest things on Nitro, but he is the scooter rider on Nitro.
He's the man of Nitro.
Yeah.
It's not even the scooter rider.
True. If you think of Nitro, you think of Ryan Williams.
Yeah. I always think, but something that always makes me kind of chuckle is like, damn, that would be so embarrassing to be like a BMXer and have
Literally.
Ryan Williams come in who like kind of just got bullied into BMXing. Like that's what I've heard, is that like he was just giving shit at shows like, oh do that on a bike, you know? And he was like, all right, fine, I will. And it's like, imagine it flipped. Imagine in scootering.
Exactly.
If there was a BMXer that was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try this scooter thing out, and he just rocks into a street jam and like wins best trick and like rocks up to all, like worlds.
Like, that's not happening. Like,
There's no way.
No way in, like, that is not possible. Like, the street comps at the level of that would never happen. I would put money on that. Whereas the fact that he can just go into BMX comps, mega ramp comps, normal comps, and actually like fuck it up. Like
Yeah.
like actually like he's got like is it 3 gold
Yeah, he was the
medals?
first BMXer to ever get 3 golds in a row on like
he's a scooter rider.
yeah. And it was like this thing too, where there was like 4 dudes previously. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. Maybe it was 2. I'm kind of talking about my ass right now. But they essentially won 2 golds back to back.
Yeah.
So they won like 2 years consistently, but then they always didn't get the 3rd year, and it was like this curse.
Yeah.
And Ryan Williams comes in and like breaks the curse. I'm like,
Just straight up.
like, dude, he's crazy for that. But he's like not the only one either.
No.
It's like we got Jordan Clark that
Exactly.
I was talking to a few people, and I don't think there's any BMXer in the entire world who can flip drop on a BMX bike as good as Jordan. Like, he just jumps so high, and he has such good muscle memory from scootering that, like...
Yeah, it's insane. Like, the fact that he can just hop, like, even on mountain bikes, like, he can... I think he's inwarded a mountain bike and stuff. Like, it's silly. Like, the stuff he can do, like, especially, like, he was riding the airbag on his bike, so he did, like, 7 double whip on a bike. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how are you doing this? Yeah, it's insane. Like, he was winning. He's won, like, MTB comps and stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's so ridiculous. Do you ever jump on a bike?
Yeah. I bought a bike and I gave it to my brother to fix up, and then that just doesn't exist anymore. So I still need to get one.
What's the most impressive thing you've done on a bike?
Like a double whip.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I can flare an oppo flare as well.
Okay.
But like I haven't had like I rode bikes for like 6 weeks when I was younger. I learned flips and stuff, but it was like, yeah, like I just haven't had any recently. I'll hop on it for like a minute. I won't really do anything. Yeah.
What's attracted you so much to riding a scooter just over the years? Like what about a scooter and scootering? Maybe it's the culture. Maybe it's.
I think that's it. I think it's the community. Like,
yeah.
It's just sick. Like, yeah. Like even if I had to stop riding, I don't think I'd leave the scene. Yeah, it's crazy.
What about this scene do you really like?
Everyone's just chill. Like, obviously you have some knobheads, but most people are just like there's like a mutual respect between scooter riders for each other, and it's just cool to see. Like everyone's just, yeah, it's just sick.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel like one of the most beautiful things in my life for sure is just the presence of so many great individuals that make up the scooter community.
Yeah.
It's truly like, I feel like, or any other community I've ever seen. I feel like it's just so unique and special.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just so cool because like, just real talk. It's like, I wouldn't know who you were. I wouldn't even trust you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're just some dude from the UK. But it's like, because we have this passion in common, it's like, yeah, bro, come stay at my house. Whatever. It's so cool.
Sick. Yeah, it's crazy because like, yeah, everyone's just like meeting new people is just so cool. Like going to comps and stuff, it is just sick.
Yeah, no, it's
like compared, especially like competitions and stuff, like the crowds, and it's crazy. Like it's so good. It's just so cool.
Yeah. What has been your favorite scooter contest that you've been to? Is it Extreme Barcelona?
Probably, yeah.
Why?
It's just Barcelona.
Yeah, it's just everything.
Like,
it's just everything attached to it.
Like Barcelona is probably just my favorite place. So the fact that there's a comp there as well, that gives me a reason to be able to go. It's just like, yeah, it's sick. But like Outlet, good shit.
Tell me your impression of Outlet. What did you think about it?
It was good. It was sick. Yeah, like I just love the whole like best trick format. Like it's just so much less stress than a normal comp. Like
that's my biggest complaint about scooter competitions.
Yeah.
Is like, listen, like we need to have superheroes in scootering. We need to have people that kids can idolize.
Yeah.
So that way we can inspire the next generation. You know, it's always about getting more people into it.
Yeah.
And if the people who the kids are supposed to look up to are walking around stressed and not in the zone to conversate,
exactly,
then we're kind of missing the entire point.
Yeah.
You know, it's like these kids need heroes to look up to, and the heroes need to be able to be in their best, most talkative state when the kids are around. And if you're stressed out before a contest, you just have a hella disconnect.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you just have to go with the flow, it's like then the kids can interact. It's
for sure.
It's one of the main concepts behind it.
No, it is cool. Like, and it's just like sick to see everyone just thrown down. Like, it is sick.
What's the most stressed you've ever been for a contest? Is there one that stands out?
Probably this year at Barcelona. Just because, like, like in semis, it's like the first time I've ever won a comp. So it's like...
It's your first time at finals?
No, I got to finals.
You got to finals, yeah. But you won. Like, you literally...
Yeah, the semis. So it's like, that was like insane. And then carrying over to the next day, I was like, oh shit, now people have some expectations. Normally it's like, I can just chill. Like no one's really like, I just say to myself, no one's really like watching. But like in my head that day, I was like, oh, I got first. Like everyone's like expecting something. But yeah. So it just threw me off a bit.
Yeah. It's funny. I feel like it's crazy just watching Jordan be so dominant in the scene. Like, I feel like he just has this like little magical bag of tricks where he just can deploy them. And it's like
you half the time you don't even see him doing them in practice. He's like, he does some of them, but then he'll just bang out like a double fronty.
He has them every shot.
Yeah. It's insane.
And it's crazy too, because it's not like he just does a double fronty. It's like, I'm going to do a double fronty, land perfectly at the top of transition, and like pump it as if I just rolled in.
Yeah.
Every shot. Yeah. It's like, how do you do that?
No, it's crazy. Like, yeah, I've seen like some comments this year about like people are, oh, he does the same stuff, but it's like, he doesn't, for one. Like, he still does like doubles and stuff, but everyone does double flares now. So it's like, you can't, like, it's a crazy trick, and it's good for a comp run. And his comp run this year was just insane. Like, he was hitting the biggest gaps in the park that you could hit, and he was just flowing everything. He didn't stop. Like, yeah, it was just insane. Like, his comp riding is just unmatched. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't think there's anyone like that consistent at doing fuck shit.
Yeah, his double flares are like normal people's flares.
Yeah, like he'll like say he somehow loses speed, he'll still bang a double flare under coping. Like, it's mad. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he truly is just a special rider out there. Like, I think it's just because of how strong he is too. Like, he is just a muscle ball. He's just this little muscle ball that has like the most intricate muscle memory.
Yeah, literally
ever.
Yeah, like, to see him fall off is a rare thing.
Yeah. I've never seen him like, okay, I take that back. One time when he was trying the triple flare, I seen him like bust his ankle.
Yeah,
but aside from that, I've never seen him like eat shit.
Triple fronty on nitro.
Yeah, okay. True. Yeah, he face planted like.
I thought like it was horrible. Like, see him like in a scorpion just sliding. Like, that was fucked.
Yeah. He did do that.
Like, to flat as well on like a 40-foot gap. Like, oh, jeez, man. Jeez.
I've always wanted him to film an edit, like an edit that he really puts everything into.
I think he is.
You know what? I hope so. I don't think he is.
he said he was.
Yeah.
And I really hope he does, because that shit would be so good, so good.
It's just, I think what it would take a guaranteed platform where he's gonna for sure get views.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why would he do an edit when his Instagram videos do better than his edit views, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, he would need to be guaranteed a place where it's premiered or it's documented. And on top of that is like, I feel like he really just needs a filmer that he really likes.
Yeah.
From their filming and as just like a homie.
Yeah, like, I think it would probably end up, I assume it would be Indy Clayson. And he's like they're like, he's like his team manager, but they're like boys. And Indy's so sick at like he's got the eye for filming. Like, he is sick. Like, he knows how to make and edit, like, not just film clips and put them together. Like, it's something you want to watch. Yeah. And then with Jordan's riding as well, that would just be next level. Like, the whole thing.
Yeah, no, Jordan is he's truly remarkable.
Yeah.
I feel like he really just came into scootering and just shook up the game. It was interesting. Like, I remember that year that he came up and no one knew who he was at all. Yeah. And he just won worlds. Yeah. Did you know him before that?
No.
Damn. Did anybody? Like,
No, like it was just like he came out of nowhere, destroyed everyone, and now it's Jordan Clark.
yeah. Now it's Jordan Clark.
Like, was it 4 or 5? But like 4 official worlds, and then plus, like I would still classify the world like Barcelona as A worlds this year. Like, but like that would technically be 5. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, well, he's going to go at it next weekend.
Yeah, so that, and then he can get 7. Oh, like 6, and then Argentina as well, 7.
I'm so curious to see how he does at Lake Havasu Skate Park. It's going to be a completely new, I feel like, playing field than I've ever seen him compete on before, because that park is 1, concrete, but 2, it's a bowl.
Yeah, it's
you
just
know,
a big bowl.
It's a big bowl, so it's like you have to flow, and you really can't push. And I feel like one thing that Jordan has always really done is he's been a beast at like back and forth comp runs.
Yeah.
But at this bowl, it's like you can't really do that.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of have to like be strategical about how you transfer around. And
it does look like a mad park. Like, it does look sick.
yeah, no, yeah, Jordan's he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I think he'll do well. I think he'll be able to like ride that park well.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you, who's your favorite scooter rider, or who's a scooter rider that you really looked up to, at least in early years of scootering? Like, who was a big inspiration?
Obviously, like Ryan Williams. I'd say currently my favorite rider is probably like Rumet or like
The Terminator.
or Matisse.
Yeah.
Matisse is been on one recently, and like those 3 like probably my top at the moment. Like for like wanting, like I would want to watch them ride.
They're very entertaining.
Yeah,
I feel like Matisse is so special because he's top notch at flips,
yeah,
but he's also top notch at like grinds and manuals,
Yeah.
and just to watch all of those tricks be combined together,
It's insane. It's insane.
It's just like, bro, no one else can do it.
Like the runs he does, it's just like even just one of these tricks is fucked. Like he did the crook fronty at Barca in a comp run,
Yeah.
and it's like, sorry, like what? And the fakey fronty out of a grind, like it's just crazy to see.
Well, do you think you'll ever start going hard with grinds and bringing all of your crazy kick flips and nothing front scoots and wildness
I just like going high.
to grinds?
I just like going high.
Yeah.
I do enjoy like I'd say on the street side of things, like nose manuals are like my favorite thing. Like probably just as much as going high. But like yeah, like I do enjoy like riding the street or like grinding and stuff, but like I just like going big on boxes. It's just fun. Like it's my thing. Like I
Yeah.
like it.
Do you think that your local skate park when you were growing up as a kid impacted your riding in that way?
My local skate park, you could not go big.
No.
Like it was like the biggest court was like 6 foot, but then it was like the box was like a 3 foot metal. Like it was bad, like sketchy as fuck. Like the transition would like stick up from the ground, and yeah, that was a weird park. But like, that was my only park I rode for like 4 years when I started.
Well, what transformed you from being at that park to who you are now?
I think because there was an indoor that opened in where I lived in Norwich, which is that called Charge Unit, which is now Delta 4, which my brother owns. But yeah, like
Your brother owns a skate park?
yeah,
No way.
yeah, it's so sick.
Damn, but go on.
Yeah, so yeah, like they opened an indoor there, and then pretty much from there, I just started being. I was able to go big, like as big as I wanted. Like it was sick. Like, and because it was an indoor as well, I could go there in the winter, everything. Because like when it was an outdoor, it was like September to like March is like unrideable. It's like so it's like it was sick.
That is sick. That's cool. Just tell me about your brother's skate park. I don't even know. Is he a scooter rider?
No, BMX.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started riding BMX together when I first started, and then I just like went towards scootering. But yeah, that was like the first indoor me and him started riding when we were younger, and then he used to work there and stuff, and then the previous owner was trying to sell it for ages, I think, and then I think he just gave up trying to sell it, and he basically like it was he had to pay obviously, but it was like way less, and then he only had to take on like the lease or whatever. But yeah, it's sick. It's crazy. It's like mad that my brother owns like an indoor. It's crazy.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I don't go there too much just because it's like 3 hours away. But when I do go, it's always a good session.
Where is it in the UK?
Norwich, like the east, like like Norwich, Norfolk.
Okay. Damn, that's sick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's really cool. I feel like one funny thing about like Corby, like your local, the one that you go to the most, is I feel like a lot of people that don't live in the UK or go to the UK think that it's like close to London.
Nah.
But it's just in the middle of nowhere.
Literally, like it's just a little town. It's like 2.5 hours up from London. It's quite easy to get to from London for like somehow, like the train station is absolutely tiny and there's like one platform, but it goes straight to London. So it's like pretty handy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I think just because everyone sees everyone riding and they assume it's all really close together, but everything's still pretty spaced apart.
But that's kind of how it is in America too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like I hear all the time. You even said it. You're like, oh, I thought this thing at this Woodward was at this Woodward, you know, and it's like, no, that's
Literally.
2,000 miles away. Sorry. But so you live in like kind of a boring town. I mean, obviously Adrenaline Alley is the sickest. But what do you do outside of scootering?
Yeah, there's not much. Like if I'm doing something, I'm normally not in Corby. Like there's not much to do there. Like even just like activity wise, like there's not even a fucking bowling. Like it's like it's not that great. Like they just keep building houses and they don't actually build anything for that. Like there's no like nothing. Like all these people are moving there. But it's like why?
What are they doing out there?
Unless you're riding that skate park, I don't know why you're here.
Yeah, for real. I feel like if you're in action sports, great. You're in heaven. But like but still it's like there's just nothing there. It's like you got a grocery store and like Samuel Lloyd's. And that's about it.
Big up the Samuel Lloyd's.
I love Samuel Lloyd's. That's
Weatherspoons is like that's like British culture. Like used to like the Samuel Lloyd is like one of them. Like it's just like a chain of and they're all Weatherspoons.
Is it Weatherspoon a chain?
Yeah,
or
so
is a brand?
Yeah, and then all of the like Samuel Lloyd is just the name of that pub, and then it's like a franchise.
Yeah, no, I
good shit.
I think I was telling you about it earlier. Like whenever I go to that place, it's like the best meal ever. I think because I'm so exhausted from Adrenaline Alley and I'm so deprived from food.
Yeah.
And then also it's like I've had such a good day. Like my dopamine levels are way through the roof. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, this food's hella good. And I don't know I don't even know if it's that good, but it is, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is good. Weatherspoons is good food. And it's cheap.
It is, yeah. I remember I was so stoked. It was one of the Scoot Fest events, and I just remember like everyone from scootering was inside of that place, just like having a good time.
That's sick.
I wish they still did Scoot Fest.
Yeah, I know. It was such a good event, and it was just like everyone was there. And like now that I live so close to Adrenaline Alley, they don't do any events there. So
I haven't seen any comps there or anything recently.
The last one I can think of is the virtual action space thing, where it's like there was just riders, there was no like crowd. Like, that's the last thing I can think of. The Scoot.
Yeah.
Like, they've done a few, like there was Scoot Jam, but that's like targeted towards like kids and like intermediate riders. So it's not got like a pro category. But that's like the last one that was there. But other than that,
were you in that Action Space comp? The Action Space Invitational? Were you even there?
No, I haven't really done anything with Action Space before. I've just never been involved.
That competition was sick. Clayton and I went out to it. And
it did look it.
It was very proper.
Yeah,
it was very like.
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff from like Dylan saying it was like the best structured comp he'd ever ridden.
I think what it was is it really just like ensured that the riders were like hydrated, fed, there on time, in a nice room. It was like all of the expenses were kind of accounted for.
Yeah, no, that is good.
And I feel like that's part of a big headache point with like normal competitions is like
for sure.
On top of you have to do your best run and you can't mess up and you're stressed about that. It's also like you're also in a shitty hostel
that's like ages away.
Yeah. It's like, it's like now you have to figure out the instructions to get there. You show up and then it's like, oh, well, that adventure's over. Now it's time to scooter to my best self. You know, it's like, damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's
No, that is a sick thing though. I think like having that professional, like the professional side of it is very important.
I feel like the way that Scootfest was had a lot of value. I feel like it's something that it tapped into potentially something more than scootering and maybe some like primal human like characteristics, because a big part of like I feel like tribal human characteristics that are instilled in all of us is the idea of having like a tribe or a team, you know, and it's like that team dynamic. It's like that's why team sports are universally so popular around the world. It's like you have this group of people, not really like one person's the emphasis, but it's like you have a group of people and then you have a larger group of people who are supporting the group.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think that there was something special to Scootfest because they had the team, you know, it was like team district, team ethic, team whatever. And it was like you as a spectator got to get behind your favorite brand.
Yeah, it was cool.
And it gave the opportunity for riders to bond with their team in a competitive way. Because I feel like companies all the time make like sweatshirt or like jerseys and all this stuff, but it's like, what are those jerseys really for? You know, it's like y'all ain't on like a team. You know, it's like
it was quite cool. I think not like the last one I did, they did like countries. It was like where they announced USA had won, but they hadn't. That was like a hot shit show. That was mad. But yeah, like that was cool because it was like, especially because it was in the UK and then they had the UK team. It was just crazy. Like it was so cool. Like especially like say it was here this time, you'd have had the Americans going for the Americans, the English for the English, like just cheering. Like it's cool because it's like, and then but even there was the other way with sponsors. Like just that team dynamic is just cool. Like it just feels more official.
One thing I was talking about with Clayton is like, it's like it'd be cool to have a contest series where there was a team involved.
Yeah.
And there was a variety of different obstacles or like courses that ranged from like very street to like very transition based, you know? And what it would do is it would force companies that entered it to actually have a diverse team. Yeah. So it forced companies like Tilt, for example, to like have a top end park rider, you know, and then it would force companies like Apex, like they already have this now, but like a top end street rider. And it'd be cool because you'd really see kind of a shift in the products as well. Yeah. And I think it would break down a lot of the walls between like park and street, because I feel like that's like, it's like a division in scootering that's like not necessary.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing that like annoys me about scootering is the whole park versus street, because most people don't care, which is the way it should be, but some people are just like they just hate for no reason, like just because someone has a smaller deck they're like, oh fuck you, like it's just like what like they want, like they're doing park tricks, like they're not going to ride a 7 wide deck, like it's just like it goes both ways as well, because it's like street, like big decks are suited towards rails, smaller scooters are suited towards ramps. Yeah. Like, sure, you can ride a big scooter on ramps, but no one's doing like a triple overhead on a 7 wide.
Yeah, it's the extra standing space is unnecessary.
Yeah. But like for street riding, it's perfect.
It's necessary.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like the fact that there's that division is just weird. Like like we don't ride, like we ride the same thing, like get over it. It's just weird.
I think a big part of it is kids looking for identities, and I think that a big part of being a kid is figuring out who you are. I mean, I guess that's a big part of life, right? Yeah. Regardless, but I feel like when you're a kid, it's even more prevalent. It's like you have to obtain these qualities that put you into a group of some sort, you know?
Yeah,
and
I know what you mean.
And I think that's like a big reason why kids get into scootering. You know, it's like they get into scootering because they identify, they can be like, this is my tribe. Yeah. You know? And then I think once you're in the tribe, you realize that there's other tribes. Yeah, you know, and it's like now you have to choose. And it's not until like you get to the top of those tribes and to the top tribe where you realize like damn, all the top riders are just like friends. Like it really doesn't matter if you're Parker Street. Like it just matters that you ride a scooter.
Yeah.
Because it's all like I feel like the tension and back and forth is all just like little kids.
Yeah.
You know, and then if it is adults, it's like, you guys just don't get it. Like,
yeah, it is strange because it's just like, we're all riding the same thing. Like, get over it.
I feel like I'm just so curious where that even like rooted from. Like, where did Park and Street? Because I feel like in skateboarding, sure, you have like street.
I feel like BMX
versus like bowl.
Probably came from because I'm in BMX. I feel like you have a very clear division. Whereas like skateboarders, like they ride street and park a lot. Like, so like some people obviously like separate, but like you couldn't tell a skateboarder by looking at them whether they rode street or park, like their style and stuff and like their board. But like BMX and scootering, you can see like it looks different to watch like them do tricks. So I think it's just as you say, the whole identity thing. People want that identity to be specific to a niche.
I think the cultures behind the two are very interesting as well. I feel like the competitive side with the park riding is so interesting. Like, you don't have street riders ranking each other. You know, it's like you'll see little kids like, I'm the best in I got second place in junior intermediate. Look at me, I'm the best
Denmark,
here.
like it's a random. In
Denmark, and I feel like that's just does not exist in like the street riding. But then like I'm just trying to think of like what is the equivalent in street riding, because they definitely do compare themselves in like some capacity. I have no idea though.
No, I couldn't think.
I think the whole competitive side of scootering is just fascinating, and the culture behind it. And I think it's so much just driven by like parents.
Yeah,
you know, it's
for sure.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like parents that will like push their kids to do competitions.
Have you ever seen any parents like go crazy trying to make their kids like train and shit?
Like you'll see it, and it's like the kids like standing there crying because they don't want to do something. Like, just do it, and it's like, fucking hell, mate! Like, Jesus, let the kid have some fun. Like, bloody hell, it's
because you're a coach at Adrenaline Alley. You see that, huh?
Yeah. So it's like, it's just weird. It's like, stop being so insecure. Just like let the kid ride. Like, he doesn't have to be a fucking world champ within 2 weeks of riding a scooter.
My favorite story of that is there was a point when like Rocco Piazza was being like pressured hard by his mom.
Yeah, she'd like make him go and ride.
To be the youngest kid to ever do a double backflip.
Ah, okay.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, double backflips are like if you don't know how to do them and you don't do them often, they're like a very risky and very kind of just full send trick.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You're not gonna like, oops, I accidentally landed a double flip, you know? And I feel like some tricks are kind of like that. Yeah. And I just remember he was like crying and he just tripping, but he was like a little kid. Like, I don't blame him. Yeah. And I'm like, you get up there and do the double flip. It's like,
even just do one. Like, it's just, it's weird. Because, most of them don't even ride themselves. They assume it's easy. So they're like, do it.
It's like there's this whole realm to scootering that parents don't get where it's like,
100%.
It's like, it's about like landing the trick clean, but like also like sending the trick is really scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, scootering culture is so funny when you really get into it. I feel like that's one of the next biggest things that needs to happen in scootering is, and I think that up until this point, it's kind of been kind of unavoidable, but there's enough scooter riders getting to an age now where we can actually start being like, no, listen, we got this. You know, it's like, we can structure this now. We're old enough. Yeah, you know, sure. and I'm excited to see like what that's going to bring to scootering in the next like 10 years. You know, because we've seen from 2010 to, I'll just say 2020, we saw like a very heavily parent influenced scootering world.
Yeah, for sure.
But now it's like all the scooter riders are 10 years older, you know, and it's like all of the 15-year-olds are now 25, and I'm just curious how that's going to impact the future landscape of scootering. You know, like,
I do know what you mean. Like, I think it'll be good because obviously you say as people get older and they've got like all the experience that like from riding and stuff, it will make for a like almost a smarter community of like competitions. So it's like they'll be run better. They'll be like people understand how to run things. Whereas like before, like say 10 years ago, I doubt comps were ran by scooter riders. They're going to be run by some old guy that has no idea what the hell he's doing. So it's like, yeah, it'll be much better, I think.
I think what's going to happen is like we saw like the initial boom in scootering. Like I went over this whole thing in the banquet presentation at Outlet, where basically the timeline of from 2000 to 2010 was like the early primitive years of scootering. There wasn't much aftermarket. Then 2010 to like 2015, we saw like the introduction of aftermarket parts and like completes and all this. 2016 came around. It was like a whole new world because there was like now YouTubers and teams and then from that point to now, it's like we've kind of seen like a super major incline to kind of a plateau, and then from there, it's like I think we're kind of like getting over like. We peaked and we're going down a little bit, but I think that the next wave that we experience in scootering is going to be massive. And I think what's going to make that wave so sick is there are so many problems in that first initial wave, and I think most of them was because of the parents. Yeah, I think most of them were trying to have a landscape in scootering that was like equal outcome. You know, like they wanted every kid in there to like walk away with the participation trophy on top of like. Trying to turn scootering into a rendition of a sport that already exists. Yeah. And I feel like the next wave of scootering, when it's like, nah, this is just by scooter riders, for scooter riders, that's what's going to make that next wave. Just like
for shit.
Tsunami over everything we've seen in the past, you know? I'm excited for that. I think that it's been necessary to like kind of filter out the bullshit brands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of those that's just like they'll buy cheap parts, sell them for cheap, for kind of not. So it doesn't like it's just shit because it's like there's so many companies that like put so much effort into their parts, and then you have one company that sells better, and they literally have ordered it off Alibaba. Like it's just like it's kind of annoying how many there are.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating when I go to the skate park and I see like, oh, that's a district. Oh wait, that's not a district deck. That's a X. You know, it's like, come on now. You know, it's like the fact that we have like these molded, pre-existing just decks that you can just buy and slap any brand logo on. It's just like, damn it.
Yeah, it kind of ruins the whole like. It just kind of ruins it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the innovation of scootering looks like in the future.
Definitely.
Do you think park riders will ever ride 6 wide standard? Like, because we were talking about that last night, right? At one point, like 4-5 was like it. Yeah. For park and street. Yeah. And then 5 wide came out.
I think as long as it's light enough, it's a possibility. But until we figure out a way to, because like. I don't think it'd be too heavy, but like a 6 wide, and it's like because it's bigger, it's got that like even if it's not too heavy, it's still got the weight like almost like still got that like momentum. So it's like certain things would just I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it will be standard for everyone. I think most people will still be on like the 5-5-5 sort of thing. Yeah, I think 5-5 is like a good. It works, but like. A kid that's like 12 or 13 isn't going to be able to do as much stuff on a 5-5. Yeah, so it's one of those progression things. As you get older, you move up in size.
Yeah, it would be sick if somebody won a world's run on a 6 wide, like park.
Do you see? The court? We had the court open. Jordan got podium, and he was riding a 4-5 in the street comp.
Really?
Yeah, he was riding a 4-5 deck because he I can't remember. He didn't have his 5 wide. It was sick.
That's hella funny. Yeah, like he wins a street comp on a 4-5. That's beast, low key.
And got podium.
That's beast.
Big time.
And bro, that double backflip he did over that transfer was unbelievable.
Yeah, it didn't look real when he first did it. It's like I don't even know how he doesn't turn either because he's literally going like fully sideways.
Diagonal.
Like the gap, it was not like it big. Like just jumping is a bit scary.
Did you get any tricks over it?
I didn't. I was like, no, I didn't think it was like, I didn't think, because obviously I was practicing for the comp as well.
Yeah.
But like I didn't look at it and think, yeah, I'll do some like a trick over that gap. Jordan's like, yeah, double flip, yeah. Like he comes up before and he's like, do you reckon I got it? It's you, probably.
Yeah, bro, you got this, man. I love getting Jordan hyped up, man.
Yeah,
there was a time when Clayton and I were on Woodward and we literally just like amped him up to go do a triple flare. And he just stood up and he's like, all right, right now, let's go. And I just remember we showed up to the hangar or like the lot 8 and not lot 8, cloud 9. We were in cloud 9 and it was like he did like 3 double flares and it was just like, all right, I'm ready. And just like the next one he did, he just tried it. It was
That's
like
insane.
All right, bro. Hell yeah.
I'm happy it was
also,
him.
he did 540 flare bar first to like get warmed up, and then he did like 540 flare down heel, and then he did a bunch of double flares, and then sent the triple flare to flat.
Oh my
Yeah, it just blew
God.
up.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I feel like if he wasn't riding that stupid grit deck, he actually like would have landed it.
Yeah, because I think like every time he tried it, he broke his scooter before. So it was like it was like hard because if he tried it, he might not have a scooter then. So I think it was one of those things as well. And obviously, if you're trying it, you want to be able to know that you're going to roll away and your scooter's not just going to snap. There's not going to be you're not going to have much confidence if you think, I can get this around, but my scooter might not last.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a weighing factor that wouldn't be chill.
Not at all.
Hell yeah. Is there anything that you really want to see from scootering in the future? Something that, like, in a dream world, you would want to have scootering accomplish as like a whole?
Just like I think, like the big sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
like Nike, Adidas, all that. Like, yeah, I think that would be, because that's just like that's when a sport's official. Like we've got like, there's just not really any big companies that associate themselves or sponsor the events, and it's kind of a shame because it's like it's like, why we like pretty much get more like eyes on our sport than most of them. So it's weird that they wouldn't. But I think that and it would give opportunities for like riders to just be set. Like they wouldn't have to worry about working. They're just set.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
I feel like that's such a prominent dream for so many scooter
I know,
riders and
it
scootering.
seemed like a cop-out answer, but it's definitely one of the bigger things that it would just be sick.
It all comes down to turning scootering into an entertaining medium.
Yeah.
Once we do that, it's game over. We got this.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been a great conversation with you,
been
Jack.
sick.
I feel like there's a lot of kids out there that look up to you. And there's a lot of kids that are inspired by what you do on a scooter because you're always breaking ground. So I feel like they're going to be stoked to hear your words. And yeah. But
I hope I made sense.
you made sense
I lost
to me.
the track on a lot of things, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We will catch you in the next episode. Peace out.